Hello, everyone. Hope my voice is audible. Thank you. Very good afternoon. Yeah, we'll wait for a minute more and we'll start the today's session. Okay, students, very good afternoon. Thanks, Vishnu, Jagan, Mahiti, Jesse, and others. Yeah, thank you so much. So, I'll quickly share my screen. Okay. Not shared it. Just a second. So I have shared my screen. Hope it is visible to you all, and at the same time, I'm audible too. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thanks for the confirmation. So we were discussing one of the topic under Unit 3 Planarity, and we have saw quite a good amount of concepts under planarity. Let me go to the slide where I have stopped last week. Last week we did saw and understood how to draw a geometrical graph, and after that we saw quite a good number of observations with respect to two graph being dual, how a given graph G and the geometrical dual G star are related. What vertex will becomes regions will become vertex, and edges will remain the same, and a pendant edge will become self loop, and vice versa. Parallel edges will become series edges will become parallel, right? And rank and nullity also got interchanged. And after that, we were discussing about uniqueness of a dual graph, right? So with the example we started, these two graphs are isomorphic to each other. There's a graph G and it has been embedded in plane and two different embeddings, right? A and B. And as both embeddings are different, definitely we'll get two different duals. For A, we'll get one dual, B will get the other dual. So the question was how unique those duals are. As these graphs are isomorphic, whether those graphs, dual graphs are also isomorphic or not. So after understanding, we came to know that these duals are not isomorphic to each other, right? Because few things got changed. See, that's why the given dual graphs are always unique. It's rarely that it is. No, I will put it in this way. They never be isomorphic. The dual graphs are never be isomorphic. When I say dual graphs, not with respect to this and this, but however, if two graphs are isomorphic, then their respective duals are never be isomorphic. Means these two are not non-isomorphic. So now the question is, whether these two graphs are one isomorphic. Okay. First of all, my screen is visible. Let me zoom it more. Yeah, these two graphs, which G star, G A star and G B star, A and B are being a subgraph or two different graphs. G A star and G B star are definitely not isomorphic. We saw that, why it is not isomorphic in the last class, because the degree, the number of vertices are same, but the degree of all the vertices are not mapping to each other. So now the question is, are these two graphs are one isomorphic or they are two isomorphic? So any answers related to one isomorphic? Jesse says yes. Is that for yes? Joyce also says yes. Those even Ahmad, couple of minutes back it is. So the question is, these two graphs definitely not isomorphic, but they are one isomorphic or two isomorphic. Now the question is, are they one isomorphic? Yes or no? Anybody? If yes, then why? If no, then why? Possible. Then we'll go to two isomorphic. Right now the heading says, however, they are two isomorphic. I already have mentioned, but now the question is, are they one isomorphic? What is the definition of one isomorphic? This should be only one vertex, right? One vertex. We should be able to make the given graph into blocks by cutting that cut vertex. There should be a cut vertex, as simple as that. But are there any cut vertex in this graph? One cut vertex, the correct one cut vertex, which separates the given graph or which disconnects the given graph. There are no one cut vertex in this. Now the question is, yes, there are no. Correct. So now point is, are there two vertex which I remove those two vertex will make a graph disconnected? Yes, that's right. So in this graph, if I remove this vertex and this vertex, if I cut this vertex and this cut vertex, it entirely divides. Similarly, this anything else is definitely this is one, and this also, right? This and this, if I remove, this will be one part. Oh, this is not there. These two are not there. Only these two, if I remove, cut this vertex will go at one side, the other will come the other side. Now, as I already mentioned that they are two isomorphic, we'll quickly see how they are two isomorphic. Okay, with probably I tried my best to represent them visually. We'll go to the next slide. So this is the first graph and this is the other graph. So I have disconnected this graph into two. So it's a disconnected graph. What I did, I have removed, this is one cut vertex and this is one cut vertex. I will label this vertex as x, became x1 here and x2 here, right? And this vertex, this, it is y vertex, became y1 here and y2 here. Of two isomorphism or two isomorphic. Now split. There are two operations. Operation one is split. Second operation is join or merge from x1 to not x2, x1 to y2, then x2 to hello students, I'm back. Wi-Fi is stopped working, so I connected through my mobile hotspot. First of all, am I audible? Is my voice clear? Okay, great. So let me quickly share my screen. Yeah, I have shared my screen. Hope my screen is visible as well as I'm audible too. Okay, thanks, Satish. Yeah. So what we did is the given the first graph. This I have uh, disconnected into two, and using these two cut vertex, this being vertex being x, became x1 and x2. Here it is, I have not written it, could have written that, but never mind. So it's x1 and x2. This vertex is y, became y1 and y2. Now we'll try to merge it. So in the way, if we are trying to merge, x1 will be merged to y2 and x2 will be merged to y1. In that fashion, if I merge this E7, right? E7, instead of from starting from this vertex, it will start from this vertex. So it will be something like straight line imagine. So that is the E7 we have right now here. And this, E5, since it will be merging into this E5 and E6 edge, which is coinciding. This vertex is right now it is X1, right? It will be merged to Y2. Okay, it will be merged Y2. So now E5 and E6 will be a kind of edge moving upwards with one more vertex. This vertex, let it be here. Quickly, drawing that in I think I have shared only the part of my screen, so let me share that entire window so that we get a clarity. So this is my X1, okay, and this is my X2, and this is my Y1. It's been separated from here, and Y2. Now, as per 2 isomorphic definition, X1 will be merged with Y2 here, and Y1 will be merged to Y2. So how this merging happens, imagine instead of this dot, right, or this vertex, I will rename it as to some P, okay, just for our understanding. P. Now after merging, similarly some P might come here. Imagine P might come here. So I will quickly draw an vertex for that. Some P is here. Now X1 is merging to X2. So this has been merged, but the P is here. So there will be a kind of something like this. There will be an edge. Okay, this is one edge. And E6, the other edge. Okay. But P2, Y1, there is already an edge E7 dash or E7 star it is. It's a star dual. So Y1 is been merged to X2, so it will be something like this. If we closely look the, these two graphs, they are identical. Closely look, they are definitely isomorphic to each other. What operations we did? We did split and merge. By doing that, they are isomorphic to each other. So, as per the definition, they are two isomorphic. These duals, what are these duals? Respective duals from two isomorphic graphs are two isomorphic to each other. Okay, coming back to, we'll close this. So any doubts with respect to the slide about geometric dual and especially identifying duals and the observations which we made, and are they unique? Yes, they are unique, but they are two isomorphic to each other. On all these concepts, any doubts? So that if there are, then I will try to address. Otherwise, we'll go to the next topic. All good. Okay. Oh, this is all good is, I don't think it's a recent message. It's clear, sir. Okay, Jesse, thank you. So we'll go to combinatorial dual. So we were discussing till now geometric dual. Geometric dual means for the given graph, we had the representations, and from that representations, we try to make some observations and things like that. We all the understanding happened through geometric notation, right? Combinatorial graph, we know that it is an abstract graph. There are no such representations. So we'll try to understand more concept without representing. That's the whole first point I have written. So far we have defined and discussed the duality of planar graph in pure geometric sense. Till now what we understood, it is through geometric representation and visualization. So the following provides us with an equivalent definition of duality independent of geometric notations. Means we'll try to avoid geometric notations or graph, but somehow we'll try to more understand about the duality of the graphs. Again, we are still discussing about the duals. Okay, duals. If it is been represented on a plane, becomes a geometric dual. But still we are discussing about the topic dual, but in a non-geometric notation. So coming into that, first there is a theorem. It says that a necessary and sufficient condition for two planar graphs. So just you have to imagine there are two planar graphs, G1 and G2. Okay, G1 and G2, two planar graphs. And to be duals of each other is as follows. And there are two planar graphs, G1 and G2, and they are dual to each other. So try to imagine the simple graph of G1, it's dual G2. Okay. Now, if that is the case, if this condition, it must follow. What is that condition? There is one-to-one correspondence between the edges in G1 and the edges in G2. One-to-one correspondence between the edges in G1 and the edges in G2, such that a set of edges in G1 forms a circuit if and only if the respective corresponding set in G2 forms a cut set. It's a theorem and it is holds good always. Okay. We are trying to understand relationship between dual graphs. Till now we understood about dual graph through geometric representation. But this is combinatorial. We'll try to understand with theory rather than geometric representations. But again, this duality is always holds good for planar graph. We still haven't touched for non-planar graph. Right? Just because we are not representing on a plane, combinatorial dual, we are not representing on plane. That doesn't mean that we are dealing with non-planar graph. This theorem states that, the first statement, it says it's a necessary and sufficient condition for two planar graphs, G1 and G2. That's the whole condition. It's a planar graph, both the G1 and G2 are planar graphs, but we haven't embedded it in plane. Now, if they have to be planar, what is the necessary condition? The edges of G1, there should be a one-to-one corresponding edges between G1 and G2, such that set of edges in G1 forming circuit only if the respective corresponding edges in G2 form a cut set. So everyone understand cut set? What is cut set? We understand circuit. I feel so. Circuit is what? Called closed in nature. Edges with closed in nature. Circuit. The same word, walk path circuit, same word circuit here. The set of edges making a circuit in graph G, and its G dash, the same edges, the corresponding edges in G star is a cut set. Cut set is a set of edges. By removing those will become a graph disconnected. Right? The definition of cut set of edges such that removing those edges will make a graph disconnected. Only if there is one more constraint on that. The set of edges should be a minimum set, minimum proper set. Then only it becomes a cut set. Okay, we'll see the proof. Okay, this is the theorem and it holds good always. So first, let us consider a plane representation of a planar graph G. Okay, there is a graph G that is nothing but a G1. Let us also draw geometrically. I have written in a bracket. We'll try to visualize a dual graph G star, which is G2. As per the theorem, G1 and G2, there are two graphs and they are dual to each other. So, as the proof, I have taken a graph G and the geometric representation G star. Okay. Now, then consider an arbitrary circuit T in G. The first graph, consider any arbitrary circuit in G and we'll label that circuit as T. Okay. It's actually tau, but I have represented using rather than the tau symbol, I have written that in T. Simpler way. Now, T will form some closed simple curve nature in the plane representation of G, dividing the plane into two regions. One is inside region, other one is the outside region, right? I will go slow with respect to this. Okay. Now I have a circuit T, arbitrary circuit T in the given G. This circuit divides into two regions, two planes or two areas, that is inside one and outside one. Okay. Now, as this division has been made, what happens to G star? This inside region, one vertex will come. Outside region, one vertex will come. So in the G star, that is the dual graph of this, with respect to circuit only I am talking. Vertices of G star are partitioned into two non-empty, mutually exclusive subsets. Two sets which are non-empty sets, mutually exclusive means if one vertex comes in one set, that same vertex never comes in the other. Like that. So one inside T and the other outside. Able to understand? Any doubts till now? With this closed circuit, since it's a region, this region will become an vertex in G star and outside region will become another vertex. So these two vertex are into two different set and both are non-empty set because each set has one vertex and they're mutually exclusive because if it coming in inside, then the other one is going outside. That is how it is. Two regions becoming vertices. In other words, the set of edges T star in G star. Okay. The set of edges T star. What is T star? What is T star? Those edges which were corresponding in circuit T in the given graph G, the exact corresponding edges in G star are T star. And these edges are cut vertex in G star. Still, it is difficult to map it, right? Yeah, combinatorial dual, that is how it is. What I will do is, I'll quickly take an example, geometric representation. Even though we are discussing about combinatorial dual, I'll quickly take an example here. So, we'll stick to this. This is as my G and this is my G star. Okay? This A and 1A is my G star. Or I will call this as G1. This is G2 as per the theorem. Right now, as the proof, this is my G and this is G star. If we take any closed circuit here, E1, E3 and E2, is this visible? Okay, better. E1, E3, E2, it's a circuit, right? If this is a circuit in G, then the same corresponding edges are E1 star, E2 star and E3 star. What are those? E1 star this edge, E2 star this edge and E3 star this edge. They are forming a cut vertex. Removing of E1 star, E2 star, E3 star disconnects a given graph into two. And E1 star, E2 star, E3 star are the proper subsets. Means there is no more subset of edges makes this disconnection. Able to map? Now we are able to understand not just E1, E3, E2, we'll take E5, E7 and E6. E5, E6 and E7 is again a circuit. These three edges, if I look, E5 star, E6 star, E7 star becomes a cut set in G star. What we are trying to understand combinatorial graph? The relationship. We understood few observations we made through geometric representation. Through combinatorial, we are trying to understand this. Any circuit in the given graph G, and there is a dual graph G star. This edges forming a circuit in the given graph G becomes a cut vertex in the G star. Right? Can we still check E1, E2, E4 and E7? This is also a circuit. E1, E2, E3, E4. E1, E2, E3, sorry, E1, E2, E4, E7. It's the square circuit. The given graph G, this circuit, E1, E2, E4, E7 star, again removal of these becomes a dual graph disconnected. So E1 star, E2 star, E4 star, E7 star is a cut vertex. Or sorry, cut set. It's not cut vertex, my mistake. It's cut set of edges. By cutting those edges, the given graph will disconnect. So now, we'll quickly, important thing, we'll see that likewise, what likewise based on this statement, it is apparent that corresponding to a cut set S star, any cut set in this S star, in this first graph, any cut set, we'll name that as S star rather than T star. S star in G star is the dual graph. So any cut set, there is a unique corresponding unique circuit consisting in unique circuit consisting in G. How many cut sets are there? I can remove this E6, E5, E7. I mean all are star. Then E7 star, E4 star, E2 star, E1 star. Then E3 star, E2 star, E1 star. What else? E3 star, E4 star, E5 star, E6 star. Right? And what else? How many cut sets? There can be multiple cut sets. So we have again understood this concept through geometric representation. It's a bit difficult, I understand. So that's why to make clear understanding about the theorem, it's a property. We can say it's a property. So to understand this property, I took the help of graphs again. What was the theorem? It says a necessary and sufficient condition for two planar graphs G1 and G2 to be duals of each other is as follows. One of the necessary condition, there is one-to-one correspondence between the edges in G1 and the edges in G2 such that a set of edges in G1 forms a circuit if and only if the corresponding set in G2 forms a cut set. Okay? Any doubts about this theorem? Clear. Okay, great. So Satish says clear. So hopefully I think most of the students have got it. Now comes the surprise quiz. Okay. This surprise quiz is of 15 minutes, 10 minutes to solve, 5 minutes to upload. Okay, I will give 20 minutes, 10 minutes to solve, 10 minutes to upload. So what is this quiz? Based on the theorem which we just saw, is the converse is vice versa is true or not? What it means vice versa, we saw in the theorem, if the given graph G has a circuit, then its dual G star having those respective edges are cut vertices. Cut set, not cut vertices, cut set. Now vice versa is, in the given graph G1, this is my given G1, identify the cut set, then those cut set edges in G star becomes a circuit or not. Okay, I will repeat. The quiz is what we learned just now, we are trying to apply. This is the given graph. It has multiple cut sets. So I have reduced that question from cut set to fundamental cut set. Hope everyone understand what is fundamental cut set. That is the trick here. Those are able to, they will able to solve early. So fundamental cut set, identify fundamental cut set, draw a dual of this. Even though it is under combinatorial, you do a geometric dual. Draw a geometric dual for this graph. Okay. And you label that as graph B. This is graph A, this is graph B. Dual is graph B. In graph A, identify the fundamental cut set, the corresponding edges, whether in the graph B they are circuit or not. You have to show me. Okay. So quickly open your classroom. I already uploaded. So it is 2/7. Considering 2 minutes for download, 2:29 is the deadline. Okay, 10 minutes to solve. 10 minutes is too much, but yeah, 10 minutes to solve and 10 minutes to upload. I quickly assign. To all the students. Yeah, I have assigned it. You can start. Don't even bother of downloading this because I already showing the same exact PPT screenshot in the surprise quiz. So draw a dual, identify the cut set. How many cut set? For each cut set, label the edges. Already have labeled the edges. Similarly, you have to do A star, B star, C star in your dual graph. And those edges, you have to show whether it makes a circuit or not for all the fundamental cut sets. So time starts now and uploading time ends is 2:29. Because 2:30 you have a class, I guess so. So before that you have to upload. And this is all for today's class.